Welcome back, investors, to Ticker Time News. I'm Adam, and Bitcoin has continued its slide, falling for the fifth consecutive day as it slipped below 57,000 for the first time since October in a retrace from record highs. The world's largest cryptocurrency hasn't slumped this long since a 5-day streak in middle of May. So how far will Bitcoin slide, and where can we find support and resistance for the world's #1 coin? Let's use the Fibonacci Retracement tool here in TradingView to find the strongest areas of support. Now, let's start by zooming out to the weekly chart and finding the longest continuous uptrend. Place a Fibonacci grid from low to high in an uptrend. If this was a downtrend, we would go from high to low. So I'm going for this rally that it was in starting on July the 19th as the low point, and the high point is going all the way up to its all-time high of 69,000. Once I get that lined up there, right there, now we have our first Fibonacci retracement set. Now we want to go into settings on the Fibonacci retracement tool. And we want to make sure that we have the 0.382, the 0.5, and the 0.618, and lastly, the 0.786. Those are the most important numbers that we need, and by default in TradingView, those are the numbers that are selected. Now, here's what we're left with. Now, the first three ratios act as compression zones, where the price can bounce around like a pinball, while the 0.786 mark, it acts like the line in the sand, where breaches signal a change in the trend. Are you finding this video helpful so far, informative, and even actionable? Then click the like button and share this video so we can all reach financial independence. Okay. Now we need to move in to a short-term trend. We're going to go to the 1-day chart and bring this in so we can see the entire retracement tool here. Now we need to add a new retracement grid for these shorter time frames. Now we're going to start here at the September 29th, the bottom of the rally, and we're going to go all the way up to the top of this rally, which was right about $66,500. Now that we have that set, we want to make sure that in the settings for the Fibonacci retracement tool, we have those same numbers checked off, and by default in TradingView, they are. You can also use the Fibonacci retracement tool in Webull. If you don't have access to Webull, there is a link in the description below that you can click to go to Webull, and there's also a link in the description below for TradingView. Okay, now that we have these Fibonacci retracement tools all set up on our chart, they will start to show a series of grids with lines that are tightly aligned or not aligned at all. Tight alignment identifies harmonic support or resistance levels that can end corrections and signal trend advances higher or lower, especially when support and moving averages and trend lines are also in play. So let me give you an example of two lines that are not in sync. The top line of both the long-term 1-week view and the short-term 1-day view, these two lines do not match up at all. One is at 69,000, the other is about 65,000. Finding a line that is touching, that is connecting with one another, is the red line, which is the second line down in both the 1-week and the 1-day chart view. This means we have a very strong line here. And this price point for this line right here is sitting at $59,700. Now, don't you find that interesting? Because for a couple of days, Bitcoin was bouncing around between 60,100, 59,800, 60,200, 59,700. it kept bouncing around there. This was a very, very strong support line. Now, since it's fallen below that, we need to find where is Bitcoin going next. So what's the next strongest support line? Well, the green lines here, they don't match up at all. The short term is up much higher at about 56,000, while the longer term, the 1 week view, the green line is at 53,000. We have to go all the way down here to the blue line for it to match up, for it to line up with each other. Now, this line right here is at $50,200 for Bitcoin. That is the next super strong support line for Bitcoin. But remember, I also said that trend lines and moving averages can also come into play. And we happen to have that right here. If we go out on this blue line at 50,000 and then we move straight up just a little bit to about 53,400, we have the 50-day moving average and we have a trend line in the upwards direction, ascending trend line. These two areas together would also act as a pretty strong support area for Bitcoin. Now, if we move forward in time along this trend line, we get right here on this trend line, we get to about 54,500. And this, let me put a little circle right here. 54,500. That is the next support line for Bitcoin. It's at 56,500 right now at the time of this recording. And as it continues to fall, we should find support at 54,500. That's the next important area. Now, below that, then we have the area at 53,400. And then the next one down, which would be the strongest support line that we have, is at $50,000 for Bitcoin. So those are your three most important support areas as Bitcoin is continuing to come down. It wouldn't surprise me at all is if on one of those lines, especially the 54,500 line, for Bitcoin to either bounce off that or start to consolidate and stop the slide. Did you find this video helpful, informative, actionable? Then click the first link in the video's description to become a Patreon member today and help support our research, analysis, and technical breakdowns. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you about using the Fibonacci retracement tool here on Bitcoin. Are you invested in Bitcoin or trading the coin? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, your comments make these videos so much better. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.